Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to the Medium by Design. So, this message is from Jackie Gleason, and I didn't know this about him, and it was amazing how I got guided to write from him. A clip of Jackie Gleason on Johnny Carson from the 80s popped up, got my attention, and then I went to his Wikipedia page, and then that told me that he had this incredible interest in UFOs and ETs and had government connections on getting information about these things. And I was just blown away. And I'm like, oh, I got to hear what you have to say. So that's how I guess he got my attention. And here's what he has to share with us. And again, before I get into this, you like what you see, like it. You want to subscribe and keep updated with me, subscribe. Feel free to share these videos with people you think it can help, or if you have any leads for group work, or if you like something private, a private session, a private writing, an astrology reading, my email is below. Please contact me with any ideas you have for expanding your own life experience through this wonderful, incredible work. So here's what Jackie Gleason had to say. So that small tidbit on my bio page caught your attention? Good for you. Who knew I could be asked to share about my ET obsession? I say obsession because there were very few people to talk about this subject, and those that actually knew something were reluctant to talk to me. But like many of you today, I was a curious cat and wanted to know, to find out about this phenomena. There is definitely real evidence for the existence of extraterrestrials, and it does date back to the 1940s from what I learned. Now I can see that there are many sightings and arrivals of ETs on Earth for much of Earth's history. As a matter of fact, I have had the pleasure to speak to many of these otherworldly races because that was one of my interests right away after I passed. So why would a guy like me be so interested in such a thing? I will tell you. I knew from early on that we could not be the only ones in the universe. Yes, I realized this truth when I was a young man. All I needed was the news about Roswell to set me on a journey of discovery and find those in the know. And I did. It was a fascinating trip to learn of our findings of a ship and having aliens actually in the presence of humans. Of course, humans involved had no clue how to proceed, and that one alien that died from their crash did become a science experiment. What else is a scientist to do? I don't know what in all they learned about anatomy, but I do know that my feeling that we were not alone was true. It was fascinating meeting the people that were there and listening to the stories of that encounter. What does all this history have to do with your present-day understanding of ETs? Well, first of all, it confirms that your government did have contact, and second, that they kept it from the public for decades. But it goes much further than that. When you realize that ETs were part of and helping great civilizations develop on this planet, that advanced races were here, and great technologies were used to build not only the pyramids, but other structures not discovered yet, you cannot help to wonder why this isn't common knowledge already. This is where you, Salvatore, and the many others that receive this information come in. You guys do not need a ship to land to know the truth, and some of you get the wisdom, knowledge, and insights that these races are trying to get through to humanity. You might ask why this is so important. Well, if there were races here throughout history sharing in great technologies, raising society up to new heights, why can't that happen now? Most importantly, what happened to the human race to lose its position, wisdom, and power to be evolved and great? Just look at the so many living who do not believe in anything. Why is this so? There is evidence and wisdom all over the place with the internet and ability to share in seconds, and yet many are weak of mind and do not believe in anything. This might be the single most reason why humanity is where it is today. If more people cannot bring themselves to raise their curiosity about this world and others, How will your race rise back up to the position, status, and understanding of the universe it had eons ago? You must start like I did. Be the curious cat that needs to know more. Seek and you shall find was not a cliche line. It is the way you each become more and understand more and reach beyond the stars to see what has not been seen. This is the way of the world. When more of you get on board to really know the truth of your origins, the truth of the power humans had full control over eons ago, you will realize what a blessing it is to be human. No more of this constant continued struggle and suffering. It is true that that was never the greater plan for humanity. There truly is so much more. Let's move on to the spiritualism movement. This too was fascinating to me, as I felt that there was a part of us that did not die. I had this inner knowing, as you would call it, that there is this intangible part of us known as spirit that would leave the body at death and go on to another dimension free from this world. Although I can't say I had the gift as you do, I did believe wholeheartedly that those I met who demonstrated it were real. Of course, as in any field of life, there were fakes and phonies, but I never came across too many of them. I actually met those that had something valuable to share with me, and I valued those meetings. I met with so many interesting, insightful people that knew of such things that were not in the public eye, as I was, and that is what kept those connections so special. We met privately, spoke privately, and as you know, Nixon let me in on some very confidential evidence. I loved it. So that's the message, short and sweet from Jackie Gleason. And again, if you like it, hit the like. If you want to subscribe. There's much more to come on the Medium by Design. Again, my email's below. Feel free to email me if you have an inspired idea of how to use this work to benefit your life or a group of people in your life. And thanks again for watching. Much more to come.